You're now listening to the 11:30 podcast. Enjoy the show.
Nasty, hateful, insane nation that ever existed.
What it do, everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Welcome everyone to another episode of the 11:30 podcast. What's goody, man? How everybody doing out there? Appreciate everyone joining me back here for the podcast show. You know what time it is. It's not 7:30, it's 11:30, man. I'm excited. I'm always excited, man. For real. We're going to get into it. But before we do, appreciate everyone tuning in. If you're new to the show and if you haven't done so already, definitely hit that subscribe button down below, you guys. Yes, hit that subscribe button down below. Like it, leave a comment, and share it, man. And don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. But you guys, like I said, man, we're going to get into it. Got a great guest, got a cool guest that's joining me this week, you guys. She's the ultimate boss lady, you guys. Yes, she's a voiceover artist, music artist, radio personality, just to name a few. T Quest is going to be joining the 11:30 podcast show this week, man. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be chatting with her. It's going to be real dope, man, for real. In just a bit, you guys, yes, T Quest is going to be coming up in just a bit. But before we do that, you guys, we're going to start off this episode, you guys. It's story time with Dre, you guys. Yes, story time. I haven't done a story time in a minute, but man, oh man, now that my little man is, 9 months, about to be 9 months, man, I'm after everything. How do I feel as a dad right now? I feel very proud. At this moment right now, he got 4 teeth. Yeah, he got 4 teeth. He bit me on my arm the other day, and it still hurt right now. Actually, it was on my hand, and my man be going for it though. Like, he know how to clap. And at the beginning, he was just saying mom, mom, mom. Oh, no, he was saying dad, dad. He was just saying dad, 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 dad. And now he's saying mom, mama. That's all his words. So then I'm like, well, that's kind of like that's sort of my excuse though. But he'll be in his playpen, and he'll like mom. Be like, babe, he wants he wants you. He say dad here and there, but now it's mom. We took him outside. I took him outside last week on Thursday, and he was just kind of like falling asleep a little bit. But man, he was sitting out there, and he was just wow, because we look out the window, I'd be like, car, you see the car, you see the bus and stuff like that, and he haven't said car or bus yet, but he'd be like ball because he love his little ball. I gotta get some new batteries for his little ball. But we all went outside. Me, my fiance, his mother actually, and him. We took him outside. I believe it was Sunday evening or something like that. Right after it stopped raining, because it started raining and stuff like that. So, and then he had fell asleep. So it was like, man, when you wake up, you go back outside, man. And went outside to the playground, chill, man. It's just like I said, man. I felt, and one thing I felt proud of myself was, because how my hands were, and just before becoming a dad, just so much, being in my head, man, can I do it? Can I do this? Can I do that? And, I was like, man, like, I really feel that. Like, I really feel proud. And I know anything you guys, man, you put your mind to and just go after it, man, it's possible, and you can do it. I want to say, shout out to Marsha. She's the host of the Special Needs Parents podcast. I had an episode with her that's going to come out in a little bit. Really awesome episode. And I was on her podcast, the Special Needs Parents podcast, and definitely talked about me being a dad and just me overcoming a lot of things, and just not necessarily letting anything get in my way. Every day, it's sort of a challenge, but knock it out. Next one, and just wake up and just thank the Lord, for another day. But any challenges come my way with even just being a disabled parent, taking care of my little man and just doing everything I got to do, whether it's making bottles, whether it's changing them. I had all these anxiety moments in my mind and in my head before coming to that, and now I'm just like, what was I worried about? Like, what was I worried about? What was I worried about? And get so much support from my family, from my loved ones, from my in-laws, my sisters, everybody, brothers in laws, man, like everybody, man. And it was just like, man, you guys are doing awesome. And I smile when I hear that. I feel joyful when I hear that because my man is, his birthday is coming up. I'll be 1 years old and we planning something. We like, man, let's not do something too big because he's not gonna remember it. But I'm like, okay, cool. I'm with that. I'm with that. But I also want my little man to, they had a little something, something, So planning, taking him to the zoo, and of course I can't wait till when he start, actually walking and talking, and I can definitely take him to wrestling events. So man, oh man, that is going to be awesome, man. But being a dad now, for about 9 months is just eye opening, man. Just for the last, I want to say 3.5 years, of being podcasting and just me just being uplifted with so much motivation and come on here and chat with so many people, from across the world, whether it's Taiwan, whether it's California, New York, Florida, or in the DMV area or Texas. It's amazing, man. And I think everyone who find me to be an inspiration because I find so many other people to be inspiration in my life, man. And one thing I said to myself, my father wasn't in my life, when I was um, a little youngster. I had a stepfather. He passed away when I was 7, and I had multiple father figures and stuff like that. But my biggest thing, my mom definitely told me was like, man, you ever have kids, man, take care of your kids, be in your kids' life, man. And my sisters, they got kids, they fathers in their life. I'm gonna be there too, man. So man, like it's been an awesome, journey. I think the more so challenging part is just trying to keep the relationship, also fresh because we've been together, what, 10 years now. We known each other since we were in freaking elementary school. Since I was in the second, she was in the third. You feel me? So I was, what, 8 years old. She was 9 at that point. So she always thinks she the boss because she was born 6 months older than me. But just trying to keep things, fresh. And when we have a little one, all the attention, goes straight there. And I don't want to lose this person because, like I told her, I choose you. Every single time. So I think that's the biggest challenge. That's sort of just focusing on that, but definitely also raising a little one, man, a little me, man. And sure, man, you put him in his walker and he be flying all over the place. So you can't stop him, man. Come on, stop, stop, stop. Like, like I don't know, man. So I'm definitely love it though. Being a dad, man. Never thought I would be a dad, but now I'm a dad, man. I just every little boy I see sort of with a guy or so, I just like, man, my little man gonna be that age or be that tall. And man, I can see him being my best buddy, taking him everywhere, man. Like, you wanna go? You wanna go? Let's go, man. But yeah, definitely, man, for men in general and definitely in the black community, man, it's important that we raise our sons. It's important that we are in our child's life, not just buying them materialistic stuff, but spending valuable time, because time is something, man. Time is something. You can't get that back. You can't get the time back, man. You can do everything else, materialistics, TV or my phone, you can get that replaced. You got um insurance on that, but time, man, you can't get that time back, man. When you spend it to someone or you just, chilling with them or stuff like that. So, man, we need to put in that valuable time and spend with our little ones. And it start early, man. It really start early, especially because I had a young lady on on the podcast as well when she talked about how she didn't let a man in her household until the kids were grown, because she didn't want that, men coming back and forth in the house, and also she wanted to show them, what it's supposed to be like, because man, definitely, I want to raise my man. I was telling him the other day, or actually, I was telling his mom, I was like, man, what are you doing? You trying to take out the trash? Like, come on, man. Like, I understand it's 2023, and women are, man, they are killing it, man, in every area of life, man, in every area you want to name it, man. They are doing the damn thing, man. But I'm not about to have you take out the trash, man. Like Amir, when you get older, man, you take out the trash. Mama, like if it's, my opinion, man, if it's more than one or two dudes, especially more, if it's just at least one, but if it's more than two, three dudes in the house, dog, the woman shouldn't be taking out the trash. You feel me? I just think, man. But we live in a different time, man. We live in a different time. But oh man, just being a dad right now, and just I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. I just pray for my man, and just you know high spirits, man, because he wake up, man, just cheesing and everything, and he ready to go. So, and he's so spoiled, man, so spoiled. The thing is, when somebody leave out the room, like if I go to the bathroom real fast, and she be like, oh, I gotta go grab something real fast, and maybe he'll watch Bluey. He love Bluey. He'll watch Coco Melon and some other cartoon stuff. But once he turn around and knows ain't nobody there, boy, he's on it, man. He's definitely on it. So, yeah, his nana and his grandma, like, okay, especially grandma. Grandma was like, I don't know if I can get him right now. I was like, nah, I definitely don't think you want to, because if you don't see our face, then yeah. But yeah, man, just everything about it, man. I'm loving it right now. Actually, he's in there sleep right now. So this gives me time to talk to everyone here and share my story time with you guys. And still a wonderful, awesome guest, you guys. Voiceover music artist, radio personality, T Quest, that's going to be joining me in just a bit, you guys. I know everyone tuned in for that wonderful, wonderful guest that's going to be joining the 11:30 podcast show in just a bit. But you guys, man, yo, I want to remind everyone, Commission Talks, man, is live this week on Off the Top Ropes podcast. It's myself, buzzing with Marlo, and the host of the OTTR mob, Blackheart, is going to be hosting. It's going to be dope. We're going to be talking all things wrestling, everything that went down. Vince McMahon out of creative control. Impact Wrestling, which I checked out the first time in some time. It was pretty it was pretty interesting. So I definitely, we trying to expand and do something different on Commission Talk, and definitely not just be one sided about WWE or just AEW. But hey, I grew up on WWE. That's what I'm accustomed to. But I love wrestling in general. But definitely tune into that and make sure you subscribe to Off the Top Ropes podcast, man. We're gonna be chatting it up with that. Also, tap in and check out with my guy Buzz In with Marlo. My guy Warren Marlo have some amazing, amazing content. And also, shout out to my guy Brian B, the host of the Beeline Entertainment LLC. Make sure you definitely check in and subscribe with him as well, man. For real. Like I said, we're gonna be talking about wrestling. Big news that has been swirling around over the last couple of weeks. I've been kind of like, I don't really want to be indulging into some of the news because wrestling has become so predictable. Yes, you guys, we're going to get to T-Quest real fast, but it became so predictable. I just want to just stay away. But one news I've been hearing so much, and CM Punk, man, after being let go or silently or whatever it was, but he was removed from AEW programming because of some backstage fights with Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, causing them getting suspended and losing their six-man tag team titles. Now he's supposed to be returning this summer, and I know a lot of people was mad about it. We're gonna be talking about it on Commission Talk. I think, me personally, it's a brilliant idea. is a brilliant idea, man. For real. Hear more on that, you guys, on Commission Talks, and also a new episode of the 11:30 podcast, Talk Pro Wrestling, this Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 Central Noon. So definitely tap in, man. I love my wrestling. Definitely love my wrestling. I appreciate all the wrestling, all my wrestling supporters, all my wrestling fans, out there, man, that tune in to the show. But you guys, man, we're gonna take a real quick break, and when we come back, we got the awesome guest, you guys. T Quest is in the building. Don't move. You're listening, you're watching to the 11:30 podcast. You did. Don't move.
Sometimes people hit me up and they like, yo, B, why you always yelling? And I'm like, yo, I'm not yelling, bro. This yelling right here, yo. And I'm telling them like, yo, bro, I don't be yelling. I just talk loud. You feel me? And that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Back here on the podcast show, an amazing guest that's joining me here on this week's episode. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Standing by, radio, TV personality, a voiceover artist, T Quest is joining the 11:30 podcast. What's going on? How's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, doing wonderful. Appreciate you coming on here on the 11:30 podcast. How's everything?
Everything is fantastic. You know me. I work hard and mind my business.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. I dig your whole, your background and all that, man. I like that. I really dig that. Real creative.
Thank you so much. Shout out
Yeah.
to GLM Designs, our graphic team, our graphic company. You know,
Okay. Okay. Cool. You got a lot going on. Appreciate you once again for taking the invite, coming on the podcast. Tell me and tell everyone about yourself. It's the first time here on the 11:30 podcast. So tell everyone about yourself.
All right. Well, in a nutshell, I go by the name T Quest. I am a recording artist, a voiceover specialist, a journalist, a radio personality, a radio station owner, a graphic designer. I do comedy at times, maybe DJ at times, host all the time. I just do so much in the world of entertainment and entrepreneurship.
Okay, that's what's up. That's one thing that I forgot to mention. Also, you're really big in the voiceover world. Really big. How did you get it? How did you get going with that?
It started with just being on someone's skit on their project. They said they needed like a few girls, and I was joking. I said, "Let me try them," and it worked out well. And then as an artist working with DJs, they're always looking for drops. So I just invested a lot of money in doing different drops for DJs to the point my voice started circulating. And ever since then, it started elevating in different areas of the voiceover world.
Okay. You're known as the voice of the industry right now, the voiceover goddess right now.
Yes.
So what type of project? I mean, did you always wanted to do voiceover? Like, but you said, it just started with a project though, and you've been doing music and been an entrepreneurship. How did all that, begin for you?
I mean, I think it all stems from my brand, which is me. I'm walking talent. So whatever attached to me that makes me happy, I'm here to do. And it all goes hand in hand. Being a recording artist, I'm using my voice. Being a personality, I'm using my voice. So it all works hand in hand. And if I can use my gift and use my instrument, I'm here for it. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. Becoming a music artist, though. I always, ask because everybody got an amazing story, though. So, but yeah, just if you don't mind, just chatting with me. Beginning in the music game and everything you got going on.
Okay. Well, it started as a child. We all gravitate to something, and music was what I gravitated to. I was quiet. I was a nerd into my schoolwork, but music was my safe haven. I love to write songs, poetry, stories, and even though I was shy, I was never shy when it came to a microphone. Of course, my humble beginning starting in the church and then school talent shows. And then after school, turned into my career where I've traveled the world and have some experiences in this industry. But nonetheless, it's been awesome.
Okay, okay. You said that. You didn't say that too happy about that with the experiences in the industry, huh? You didn't sound
I
too
mean,
excited.
we hear rumors. We hear rumors. And
I
I'm
get.
not saying they're not all true, but they all stem from somewhere.
Yeah, you're right. The music industry is something else. You talked about how you was shadow. Like, how did you get out of your bubble? What kind of like got T Quest to build up her confidence in this world?
Well, it all stemmed from me just having conversations within myself. I'm like, you're such an incredible individual. And the moment you get out of your own way and, knock off your insecurities, you're going to be, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? And once I started doing more talent shows and performing, it started to make me break out my show. And then when I realized I wanted to do this full time, I really had no choice. So then I was just like cold turkey, like, here I am, here's my voice, let's make magic happen. And the Quest effect is real because ever since then, I became more popular. I became the voice, the reason, just the everything. I
Yeah,
had
I
to get
dig
on my
it.
own way.
Okay, yeah, to get out your own way. Get out your own way. I dig it. I dig it. I was a shy person
Mhm.
growing up, and you know couldn't speak in front of crowds. Didn't want to do that, and even when we had talent shows, I was even nervous to do that. I always wanted to kind of like participate in some talent shows though, but
Mhm.
my nervousness, sort of got out of it though. What talents did you had in the talent show? Was you just rapping or just making music?
It depends. Sometimes I sung songs. In high school, I actually ended up doing a singing set, and then I did a rapping set and a dancing set. So I was like, look, I'm gonna have more than one set because I'm me. So I did different things, and then after that I started doing poetry and spoken word. So I just taking advantage of my time and really using my craft and my gifts, because the one thing you don't want to do is allow them to go to waste when you were blessed with them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. A lot of people let their talents go away. Don't even realize it. We all born with a gift and we have a purpose to kind of like live out. So a lot of people, get stuck in the bubble or just get stuck in the cycle of society and
Yeah,
never get
life.
to fulfill. Yeah, you're right about that life and never get
Mhm.
to fulfill their dreams and stuff like that. So you ever thought about doing animation, for voiceover and stuff?
Yes, I've actually started a few projects, but due to the pandemic, a lot of things changed and a lot of things have shifted. But I'm like, it's okay because I'm still here. And when those particular individuals want to come back around to maybe restart or revamp, I'm always here. I even talked with different authors that's considering putting their books to audio, and I'm just like, whenever you're ready, I'm ready to press record.
Okay. I dig it. I dig it. How did you deal with the pandemic? Because now after the pandemic, now we dealing with inflation right now. So $40 eggs and stuff. So
Whew.
I,
Oh my gosh! Please don't remind me. I dropped the carton the other day. Almost, it was so heartbreaking. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to my fiance kid. He saw how sad I was, so he went to go buy the $80 eggs to make me happy again. I was just like, oh my gosh, what just happened? No, but during the pandemic, um, I was already in a transition in my life, and that didn't help. But
okay.
it's like anything in life. I'm just like, look, this is my reality today. So what am I going to do with it? Am I going to make excuses or I'm going to take advantage of it? And that's when I started to use social media even more, and then started working more with my shows and different guests, and then worked on, and enhancing my visuals and stuff. That's why shout out to my partner in greatness, DJ Nino. Can he help me become an even better graphic designer, so I can really have my presentation on point when it comes to doing my show, because of course I wasn't going to radio stations at the time. I was doing everything from home and sending in my shows. So, I had to get the OBS and get the green screen. So I just took advantage of the opportunity. I could have done it more, but I still elevated. And I didn't want to use the pandemic as an excuse why I couldn't do what I had to do. Because even though we all was suffering at the same time, bills were still due. They did not care. You still had to pay your rent. You still got to pay your phone bill. Like, they don't care. They just say, sorry to hear that, but this is still due. So at the end of the day, you have to be an adult and figure out what you're going to do. If you got to come up with 15 side hustles, you got to do what you got to do to survive.
You're right about that. A lot of side hustles was created throughout the pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs, but a lot of people also, got rich.
Yes.
It-
Yes. A lot of new millionaires.
yes, it is. It really is, though. But I really dig it. I really dig it. What you're doing though, as far as the music and everything. But what would you like to, accomplish though? What would you like to, do or see yourself in, as far as movies or act, voiceovers or stuff like that, or just music?
Yeah. Well, even though I've done this for quite some time, I still haven't done what I really want to do. I really want to put together a beautiful, timeless, classic album. And I've been talking about it here and there, but sometimes life gets in the way, but I'm never going to use it as like an excuse. I'm just accepting who I am today and want to write from the artist I am today and produce an incredible project. And I'm super excited to start that. And everything I've put off, I'm ready to execute. Like, I've been writing a couple of books, so I'm excited to finally release them. When it comes to the voiceover work, like I said, with the authors, as soon as they're ready, I'm ready to go. I'm just ready to extend my resume. Because like I said, I've been blessed with many talents. And even though people have enjoyed them, personally, I feel like I've been teasing them because I have not really showed them my full potential. So I'm super excited to show that to the world.
Okay. What's holding you back from showing your full potential though? You gotta go all out.
Yeah, I do. But since life is changing, we change too. So I want to make sure everything I'm doing reflects who I am today. You see what I'm saying? Like, for example, with music back in the day, going a little harder, spitting on bars. But now I'm older, I want to do more mature, more sensual. So it's all about make sure everything I do now reflects who I am today. Also, I've been opening a lot of different businesses with my fiance, and I want to make sure we have a solid foundation to make sure everything is where it needs to be. So it just makes sure all my ducks in a row so everything can flourish collectively.
I dig it though. Where you see yourself at in a year right now though?
In a year?
Yeah, in 1 year. I can have you back on the podcast and we can talk about it.
Yes. I will want to come back in a year and like, guess what? The project is out. Guess what? The books is out. You know what I mean? I just want to have even more accomplishments. And one of the things major is to be comfortable with hitting the stage again on the regular. I've done a few throughout the pandemic, but I still take it very seriously. It's still out here. People are still getting sick. People are still dying. So I still turn down a lot of things. And it's only once in a while I'll say yes, depending on the situation, because I value my life and I don't want to play with it. And people really still don't wear their masks. They're still reckless and still shocked when they get sick, So
yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, safety is everything. Definitely safety is everything. But yeah, you got to get out there and perform. I would love to see what you got going on though. That would be really awesome. You talk about comedy. You're in comedy and stuff also.
I mean, I dabble a little bit. I used to be part of a comedy podcast years ago, and I used to open up for a few shows and did stand up here and there. I really don't class myself as a comedian. I just tell people I'm an entertainer who just happens to be funny
Okay.
because it takes off the pressure. You know what I mean? Because when you're on stage and you tell people you're a singer, you better sing.
Yeah.
Unless they're gonna start talking about you. If you're a dancer, you better make sure you hit every single mark. If you tell people you're a comedian, you better be funny. It's just so much pressure. So I'm just like, no, I'm just an entertainer who just happen to be funny. And when people are talk with me or they watch a show, they're laughing. I'm like, I'm good with that. I don't need a title. I
Okay.
just
Okay.
do the action.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. I do get what you're saying because if you can sing, you better go ahead and sing. You better not be on no Showtime Apollo getting booed off the stage type singing.
Facts.
So I dig it. I dig it though. But as a voiceover, as a black woman in the voiceover and in the entertainment world, what type of challenges do you face, or or advice that you would have for up and coming entrepreneurs or voiceover entertainers or authors
Well, the biggest thing is it's great when you have a love and a passion for something. It's cool if you want to do something just to make some money. But I always tell people make sure that you take the time to learn whatever field you're trying to get in. No, I'm not saying everyone has to go to college, but take advantage of social media, take advantage of the internet, really research what you're trying to do. Everything is not just an upload. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes to make everything look easy to the eye. So I always tell people encourage, do your research. Because with me, the only thing if I had to regret something on my journey, it was not having the proper guidance and the education to steer me the right way down my path. Without that, I've lost a lot of money, a lot of friends, a lot of respect because I didn't know the business. That's why I took time to learn it so I could execute properly this time on my journey. So I tell people, if you're going to be on YouTube, don't just be watching videos unless you're watching mine. But use it because there's tutorials on everything. You literally have all the answers within your fingers.
Okay.
Take advantage of it. You'll be surprised that a lot of stuff you think is hard is actually not. You have to take the time to study. Clearly, the pandemic showed us that everything we always wanted to do, the whole time we had access to do it. We just had to be in survival mode to realize it.
Right about that. You're so right about that. You just mentioned how you just mentioned one thing that it just really actually just slipped my mind, and you was just talking on it. Oh man. Okay. I'm gonna try to think of it, and we're gonna come back to that. What keeps you motivated and inspired though?
It really depends. Well, one, I know I mentioned him a few times, but having the right partner in your life definitely helps, because he keeps me motivated. He keeps me inspired with all that he does, what I do, what we do. If I see him working hard, it inspires me to work even harder, because he's doing it for us and vice versa. So to have that support system finally is a breath of fresh air. Also, when we interview different like artists or poets or authors on our shows, just seeing them so in love with what they do and to hear their beautiful creations or to read their books always inspire me since I already dabble in all of their professions. So it's the people.
Okay.
For
Okay.
me.
I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. Okay. I remember the question that I was going to ask you though.
Okay.
Okay. You said you lost friends and, fellow, people, co-workers, whoever it may be. You lost people along the way because, you figured you might know it all. Was it because you just wanted to do everything alone, or just maybe like lack of knowledge?
No, I never wanted to do it alone because I came in by myself. I wanted a team. I
Okay.
wanted friends. I wanted I wanted it all, and I sacrificed all my 20s talking to people and networking people and trying to help build other people. I'm like, hey, how you doing? What is your talent? What is your dream? How can I help? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like we're in this together, but sometimes, well, majority of the time, it wasn't reciprocated. Or even when I try to trust people like producers, engineers, A&Rs and stuff, and I'm like, certain things I don't know, I'm being open and honest about. You look like someone who does know. You do work in the industry, but then you have ulterior motives. I'm like, you're not really here to help me. You're here to either take my money or you're here to try to take my cookies. So it was just always something, And I'm like, you know what? They warn you about these things, but I don't prejudge people. I only can judge you based off our experience, because everyone's experience of different people are different. But I had to learn the hard way and uncomfortable way, but I never allow it to change my character, and I never allowed it to dim my heart, because I knew what I was destined to be in society. So I just cried my tears, pivoted, and did what I had to do to keep the dream alive.
Okay. I dig it. Yeah, you gotta remain yourself at all costs, because in certain places they will actually sell your soul or change up who you are just for success and stuff like that. So it's crazy. But how do a person, or just you in general, sort of gain trust in that type of industry, where it's always someone who trying to get over on you, or trying to get this, or trying to get your cookies? Like,
it's just like relationships, friendships, or intimate ones. You don't know. You just have to Russian roulette and, just talk to people, observe their actions. Nowadays, you can research them, Google them, and you just got to be very mindful. And then if people are saying things, don't just let it pass. Just digest what they're saying. So if something happens, like, oh, I get it now. So you just got to take it one day at a time and just know who you are and what you want. And the more you know, and the more you educate yourself on, the more people can't get over on you. Be like, that do not cost $5,000. I already researched this. You're not gonna get it. It's kind of like mechanics. Like, they always try to upsell because they think you don't know nothing, and then you put that game on them. I'll be like, yeah, I'm okay. I'm going to someone else. I'm not paying.
Just trying to get over, though. That's the world right now. Everyone is trying to get over on you right now. That's crazy, though. Okay, you're the host of the T Quest Show that can be heard over 20 radio stations and streaming platforms. So tell everyone about the T Quest Show.
Oh my God. That is my baby. I've done radio for 10 years, and I started with God Love Me Radio Show, which is now a station. Yay me. But the T Quest Show is very special, and it's super awesome. I love interviewing different people. And I mean, I've interviewed some incredible people. Just a few to name a name that you may recognize. I've had the opportunity to interview the Whispers. Had an opportunity to interview Troop, Riff, some old school cats, some new school cats, and it's super dope. And one thing I love about it is, like I tell you, visuals blow people away. Having DJ El Nino spinning the records and as my co-host, and just seeing their shocked faces when they hear him drop the beat and it's straight a cappella, it's just an ultimate experience for our guests. That it's just such a great time. It's such a great time, and I love it so much.
Okay, cool. You said you've been doing it for over 10 years. How that been going for you?
It's been great. The first time I started was from being interviewed by a DJ. He's like, you have such a great personality and a voice. You ever consider doing radio? I'm like, hell yeah. So then as soon as I started, it was just me. So I was automatically the DJ, the program director, and the host. So having that solid foundation made it easier throughout the years. And then I've had the experience of doing it from home, online radio, college radio, FM radio, and they all, are similar with little tweaks here and there. So it's been awesome learning the different dynamics, so it's definitely been an experience. And then working with different people. I've done radio in Connecticut, New Jersey, Massachusetts, New York. Ooh, I used to spend a lot of money in gas. But because back then it wasn't virtual, so we had to drive to the stations and everything. So it's been awesome. Shout out to,
I A lot of people like that whole virtual thing, because back then you did that whole drive
Mm.
from state to state and to city just to get on a show or do much stuff. So I dig it. I dig it. All the links definitely will be down below, you guys, so you can get at T Quest, and definitely make sure you subscribe to the T Quest show. This the last day, last day of Black History Month. How do you feel about what's going on in the world today, and also how far the black community or the black culture has come? Also,
Well, being a journalist and a radio personality, I hear a lot of things. I get a lot of requests. A lot of people coming to me about a lot of stories. And there's a lot that's very uncomfortable because it's sad that we are still going through things today that we shouldn't be going through. And I don't like to really talk about them too much because they're very sad, they're very heartbreaking, they're very emotional, and people shouldn't act oblivious to it. But what I would say is this: I like to do things that society doesn't do. I like to highlight and give flowers to our culture. So I like to shout out the ones that's out here grinding and the entrepreneurs that are successful, the ones who are incredible parents and teachers and doctors and lawyers and entertainers, anyone that's out here that's doing great and doing things right and being loving and kind and respectful, showcasing happy, healthy relationships, happy, strong bonds between siblings and parents and kids. Like all you guys that society tried not to shine light upon, I want to let you know that I appreciate you. And I love seeing you be great. And just always remember, if the world is dim, the light is within you. Let it shine.
Mhm. I dig it. I like that you said that, because it's always something we have to definitely, like how you just said, bring out the light within ourselves and just focus on what we can do, and basically not what we can do, and just go after it, because it is a cruel world out there. It's a really cruel world that especially in the black community, for a black man or so, or black woman, the world tells you every day how pretty you're not, how ugly you are, or just how you can't get this, you can't get that. You gotta work 10 times hard than the next person to go out there and survive and provide, and show what you got to the world, and also live out your purpose. So I definitely dig it. I definitely dig it. Okay, you guys. We're gonna move on here on the 11:30 podcast show. It's time, you guys, for the 11:30 podcast. Hot. Okay. It's time for the hot seat. T Quest, I got 6 questions for you, and we're gonna go. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What's the most embarrassing thing you've done while in front of the person you like?
The funniest, I would say, because it's something you can't help because it's natural, which is pass gas.
Okay. Oh man, yeah, I can go with that. I can go with that. If you've been in a relationship after 10, 20, I mean, some relationships, some women kind of like still feel like embarrassed about it though. I'm like, man, don't go ahead and just pass gas. It's natural. You don't want to
I was
pass
brought
out.
up that way. I was brought up that way. Old fashioned values that you're not supposed to, but as soon as I fell in love, I just got so comfortable. I'm like, I'm sorry, baby.
Exactly. You better let that out for your ass pass out trying to go to the bathroom and let it out. Okay. All right. If you could go back in time and correct one mistake in your life, what would you correct?
I will correct going into this industry not knowing knowledge. So I probably would have went to school to study more on the business, so it would have been easier.
Okay. Beyond the questions, was one thing that you would share or give to the next individual about business that you didn't know at the time?
What I will tell them is, like I said earlier, Google Show
Google.
friends. You know, like if you see someone doing something, maybe contact them, slide in them DM respectfully, like, how did you do that? I see what you're doing, you know, and really take advantage of networking because there's so many people out there and you have access to them. Please take advantage of social media the proper way.
You
Please.
are so right about that. So right about that. That's how we connected. That's how myself and
Exactly.
Quest connected. Putting the posts out there and having people on because
Hmm.
people don't understand the big effect that social media has. Though people use social media, especially TikTok, Instagram, and yes, you see all this crazy stuff on there and some weird stuff on there, but uh it's also used for real great things like connecting with people. If you have a business, you have a podcast, you have anything that you're trying to sell, you can get it out there. One thing I guess said to me is that a lot of people may not subscribe, they might not hit that like button, they might not comment, but they watching. So they watching. So I think that's the main thing. But it is what it is what it is. Social media, like you said, is a big plays a big role in what you're doing. Okay, what is your motto in life?
Gotta love me. It's true, and I tell people, it's for some of the new people back then, I'm like, it's not a conceited thing. You know what I'm saying? Gotta love me. Like, even I have to love me. You know, I have to make sure I'm good. I have to make sure that everything I do, all my ducks are in a row. I'm out here being someone people will like to emulate, keeping on the right path. You know what I'm saying? What's not to love about someone who's respectful, who's kind, who helps? You know what I'm saying? So love
I
starts
dig it.
within self.
Yeah.
So you
Oh,
gotta love me.
hey, you're right. You're right. It all starts with self. You can't
Yeah.
love me. You can't love me more than you love yourself. You gotta love yourself first, because people always putting other people first, and oh, I love you more than I love myself. No, love
Mm-hmm.
yourself first.
Self
Then
love, self
we could,
care, self
yeah,
worth.
right. Okay. What's a red flag for you in a relationship?
A red flag would be communication because we have to communicate in order to survive, you know, and communicating properly. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? It's a big deal in any relationship, friendships, business ships. You have to know how to communicate properly because you have to work hand in hand. You have to make sure you know what the other person is thinking or doing so you guys can be successful whatever you're doing.
You're right. You're right. I just had episode 4 of Beyond 11:30 come out, and that's what we was talking about. That was mainly the first thing we was talking about for the first 30 minutes. So communication. Communication is definitely the number one thing you gotta have in a relationship. You don't want to be. You could be with someone. You could be with someone, and you also still feel alone. At the same time. So you wanna communicate, especially I want to say if you got kids though. I think kids and multiple kids at that too. Now, if you have multiple kids, it's easy to forget about the other person.
Mm-hmm.
You spend all this time, taking care of the kids. Kids come first. Putting all the kids and also your needs as well first too. So when you guys grow apart and you don't communicate more so, and you just kind of like talk about the baby stuff and stuff like that. So I think communication is
And
definitely
how
the
you
big.
communicate.
Yeah, you really.
A lot of people don't know how to talk to other people. They talk from a hurt place, an angry place, and it's not going to be received properly if you guys don't know how to communicate properly.
You're
Mhm.
right. So right about that. Okay. Favorite weekend destination.
um, anywhere with my boo. But if I had to pick a place, somewhere like an island or cruise where I could just lay out and get a black person tan and swim in the pool, not the ocean, swim in the pool.
Okay. Ocean too much for you.
Look, at the pool, you know how many feet. You know what I'm saying? The
Okay.
ocean, you could be flowing, then you be like, too deep. All
Yeah,
right, time for that.
I got you. I got you. Okay. Okay. What do you think your younger self would make of your life today?
She will be very proud that I broke out of my shell. She'll be very proud that I finally found peace. And she'll be very proud that I finally found love and the support that I've always needed and desired. Because I just treat people the way I always desire to be treated, whether it was reciprocated. You know, growing up being bullied or disrespected, I would never treat people like that.
Hmm. I
Hmm.
dig it. I dig it. You said support, and I was just talking to someone else about that. It don't even matter, family, friends, co-workers, whatever it is. Support is very, very big,
Hmm.
and obviously you want your family to be, very supportive. But sometimes it may not go that way all the time, though.
You got to be okay
But
with
speak
it.
about it.
Hmm.
Yes, yeah, and it's like you have people from the far ends of the world and in the country who support you, may support you more than your close ones, but support is real big, and it goes a long, long way. So I dig
So,
what you're saying. So um appreciate you once again, T Quest, for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast. For real, this is really dope, really awesome. Any questions, any shout outs, anything you like to say before you go?
I just want to say shout out to you. I value time, so for you have me on your platform, I definitely appreciate that. Shout out to anyone out there just trying to make life easier than what it is. It does have its hard times to the point sometimes you'll know what to do. You just feel like you've done tried everything. But look, at the end of the day, if you are blessed to see another day, that means you have another opportunity to make it right. And I always tell people, especially when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, podcasting, music world, we're all on the same journey. We all get stumped, but that's why myself and my fiance, we built our company to help. When it comes to EPKs, one sheets, virtual backgrounds, whatever you need, all you have to do is contact us. We set up a consultation call and see how we can generally help you take whatever you're trying to do to the next level, even give you tips. There's enough out here for all of us to win. All you got to do is take the first step and contact us.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I dig it. I dig it. And look at it. It's life can get real rough, can get real rocky, and people don't want to feel like they want to go anymore. Or just feel like just giving up. And I don't think giving up is not the best answer. So trust me, one thing will happen if you give up for sure, and nothing will ever happen if you give up. That's as long as you keep going. Is many things I learned that as many things that can come your way, and hey, sky's the limit, so to say. But once again, I appreciate you once again for the shout out, and also coming through here on the 11:30 podcast. When the new episodes of the T Quest show come out?
Well, we usually stream live at 7 p.m. Eastern most nights when we have guests that are booked. But I always tell people if you miss it, it's okay because you can always catch the recap virtually on YouTube, TQuest GLM, or you can hear the audio on all streaming platforms, or just download the TQuest app in your Google Play Store, your App Store. Everything you
Oh,
need is right in that one place.
all right, all right. You heard it, guys. You heard it here on the 11:30 podcast. All the links will be definitely down below. Make sure you tap in and subscribe to the T Quest show, and also download the app. And you got it going on. You got an app too. I like it. I like it. That's black excellence for you right there. Once again, T Quest, thank you for coming through here on the show, and everyone who tuning in, man. Once again, thank you guys. I'm gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, man, I got the WTF moment and more. We're gonna wrap up the show. Don't move. You're listening. You're watching to the 11:30 podcast. You did.
Women can raise boys to be gentlemen. Men raise men to be men. Let me explain what I mean by that. Women have the tools, just like men have the tools with daughters to raise beautiful and respectful human beings that could go out and be pillars in society. But that manhood question comes from a man. I was raised by a single mother and a single grandmother, two strong black women. They did a wonderful job, in the 90 percentile. That 10% came from my uncles. All right. That when you getting jumped, when you got somebody bullying you, stop crying, go back the next day and whip their fucking ass. that came from my uncles. How to walk around in the streets, how to let it be known without being over bodacious. I might not be the one you want to fuck with. How to walk it like you talk it, that swagger, that came from my uncles. Women don't raise men by themselves. Sorry, ladies. Let me bust your bubble. You do it.
Whoa.
You do it. You do a great job. You do a great job. But there's always a Mr. Willie around to take care of a child that's not his. So we can stop that narrative right now. Okay? The Mr. Willie taking you to your T-ball games and to your basketball games. Whenever something's broken in the house, he automatically comes and fix it and don't want no money from mom. He getting paid a different way. Okay? This is a community thing. It takes a village to raise a child. You didn't do it by yourself. You had it hard. You did a majority of things about yourself, and you need to be commended and authenticated and revered. But you didn't do it by yourself.
And here's the thing, I always come from a woman's perspective, right? We as women, we're taught that we can't do no wrong, right? As women, we're groomed like we can't do no wrong, but women, we could be just as toxic as men can, and men can be just as toxic as women can. You know what? I think a lot of people don't know that they're toxic because they lack self-awareness. They think they can't really figure out like what's the problem. And a lot of people, they don't want to take the time to look at themselves to even see if they're the problem. So, I mean, it's a lot that come with that. You got to look at your background. You got to look at your patterns. You got to look at your history. I've been toxic before. Earlier.
Everybody has.
Most people, when it comes to like dating and courting and all of that, you meet a person's avatar. You don't really meet the real person. You always meet the avatar, and once you get past the avatar, that's like the real person who you probably got yourself involved with. And a lot of times, by the time they get to that, that's when the toxicity and all the stuff that we were just talking about starts to show itself.
We back here on the 11:30 podcast. Appreciate everyone sticking with me throughout the break. Yo, T Quest, thank you for coming through here on the show. It was really, really dope having you on. Voiceover artist, music artist, man. Really fun chatting with you. All the links will be down below, you guys, man. Get at her, T Quest. Definitely make sure you follow her and check out her content, man. For real. But once again, definitely dope having you on. Like I said before the break, we got the WTF moment before we wrap it up, and you know what time it is. It's time for the WTF moment of the week, you guys. Yes, WTF moment of the week, you guys. Man, oh man, oh man. And these WTF moments be crazy, you guys. I ain't gonna say nothing here, but you gotta check this WTF moment out right here, man. Just check this out.
The family of Trevante Ferguson has been spending their mornings and nights so far in and out of the hospital, hoping the young woman and now her newborn baby will pull through. But they're asking, how did this end up with them both being in the hospital?
And the question is, how did this, encounter go down? Was this individual, being chased by the employee, or were they chasing after the employee?
News Channel 5 legal analyst Nick Leonardo says self-defense is an absolute defense under Tennessee law. But this case could be a tough one to prove. The investigation right now shows that Walgreens employee Myterius Boyd was notified that a pregnant Trevante Ferguson and another woman were taking cosmetics and various items from the store and left without paying. Boyd told police he followed them to their car. He said began recording them with his cell phone when the women began placing the items into the trunk. Boyd said one of the women pulled a can of mace and began spraying at him, so he pulled his gun and started shooting, saying he was in fear and didn't know if they were armed. Ferguson's family says she was shot 4 times in the stomach and twice in each leg. An emergency C-section was performed, and the baby was not hit by gunfire, but is in the NICU. Leonardo says it has to be reasonable belief that force was needed to protect you from serious bodily injury or death.
In this particular case, if you were being maced, to pull out a firearm and to shoot someone 8 times, some could view that as excessive force and too much force, or more force than was needed to dispel.
F, man. WTF all the way, you guys, man. Walgreens employee shoots the pregnant one. Yo, when I saw this, man, I was like, yo, are you serious, man? For real, over shoplifting. Woman was pregnant. I look at it, bro. I don't know what goes on. I don't know if you get paid to do the extra. Maybe you trying to, move up in the ladder and corporate ladder. I don't know, bro. But once I don't think she needed to shoot her 8 times, and now the woman and the baby is fighting for their life, man. You feel me? And dog, come on, bro. Like, uh, some people literally take their job a little too serious though. At Walgreens though, woman suspected shoplifting, and she sprayed her, she sprayed him with the mace, protecting herself, but the guy is calling it self-defense. Come on, though. Come on. I don't even know what else to say about this, man. The world is just getting, crazy and crazy about a day, bro. Crazy and crazier. Okay, you guys, man. Yo, that's the show, man. It been a dope show. Once again, shout out to T Quest, man, for coming through here on the 11:30 podcast show, man. For real. We're about to wrap it up. But before we do, you guys, you know what time it is. Don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. Follow me on Twitter at the 11:30 podcast. Like the 11:30 podcast on Facebook. And definitely subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hit that subscribe button down below, you guys. Follow the 11:30 podcast on TikTok, all social media platforms, man. For real. This was a great one. More content is coming up, you guys. Beyond 11:30, man. I'm trying to get the guests all situated. There's been some, miscommunication and trying to get them all on one day. So, you guys, more content with Beyond 11:30 is coming, and also wrestling content on Fridays. But thank everyone for tuning in. Until next time, you guys, man, it's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Stay safe, stay blessed. Give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Yo, and I'm out.